Well, you may have already sat down for your Thanksgiving meal today, or maybe you're just about to set the table. We probably know that turkey is most likely on that menu, but why? WFMY News 2's Manning Franks is digging deeper into the tradition behind eating the holiday bird.
The almighty turkey. No, not the country. The funny-looking bird native to North America. A centerpiece in the Thanksgiving plate. Founding father Benjamin Franklin called the turkey, in comparison to the bald eagle, a much more respectable bird and withal a true original native of America. In fact, Maya manuscripts written over 2,000 years ago clearly show turkeys were present in ancient Mayan life. So how on earth did they end up a staple of the Thanksgiving dinner plate? While we know of the first Thanksgiving with the Plymouth colonists and the Wampanoag tribe, I hate to break it to y'all, we don't even know if they had turkey. While the Native Americans brought deer, Pilgrim chronicler Edward Winslow wrote that the colonists killed and ate fowl for the initial feast back in November 1621, nothing mentioning a turkey for certain. The iconic image of a full and stuffed turkey wasn't popularized until Sarah Josepha Hale, and get this, proclaimed the godmother of Thanksgiving, great title, got involved in the 1800s. Hale is most known for writing the children's song Mary Had a Little Lamb. But in 1827, she wrote a book called Northwood, where she devoted an entire chapter to the description of a Thanksgiving dinner and a roasted turkey, quote, placed at the head of the table.
She was a writer, really kind of an influencer for her age.
Lynn Perkins of the Greensboro History Museum says for 17 years she lobbied state and federal government across the country, until finally she got through to the Oval Office.
In particular, she was writing to President Lincoln during the Civil War and saying, you know, this split country needs a holiday we can all celebrate together. Look, up here in New England, we got a thing called Thanksgiving. Let's make this one a national holiday.
What started as a New England tradition, slowly the turkey became a practical bird to use for its large frame and overabundance in population across America. The Thanksgiving turkey, over time, became the gold standard. Think of the famed Norman Rockwell painting, Freedom from Want, where a family sits a turkey down at, like Hale said, the head of the table. The turkey and Thanksgiving are intertwined, and while they may not have started their journey together, it's undeniable that they aren't going to be separated anytime soon. And with that, you now have some fun knowledge to share around the Thanksgiving table. I'm Manning Franks, WFMY News 2.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I did not know that.
See, and obviously I didn't know either, because we had this preconceived notion of the first Thanksgiving having just a big old turkey right there.
Right.
Incorrect. We do not know what they had. They had, as we found out, fowl. What could fowl be? We really don't know.
I do know it's a bird. That's all I know. What does it look like?
Yeah, it could be a ton of things, Eric. You were absolutely right. We just don't really know because, obviously, it's limited from what we have. We don't have photographs. Those are paintings, not actual pictures.
It's very interesting.
Pre-pictures, Manning.
Yes, there were actually pictures taken back then. That is exactly how it works, Eric. You got it. You win the gold star today.
Yeah,
on the internet. They put them on the internet.
Yes.
I would have thought they had, I would have thought turkeys were there. You know, I just thought you assume that.
You really do.
You would, but it's just not the case. It was a New England tradition, and they brought it over here down to the South. Yes, that's how it started, and now we do it every single Thanksgiving.
Wow, that's good to know. The more you know, Manning Franks, the more you know.